Well, hi everybody. Welcome to Caribbean Soul Food Duo, where today we're going to be making something a little hot. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make pepper sauce. And I actually had the pleasure and the fun of having a balcony garden this summer on my balcony. And I grew these peppers and they are so hot, I cannot eat them. I can't even get through a whole pepper in 2 days. So I thought, what am I going to do with these? They are extremely hot. And then I remembered in the old days, my grandmother always made pepper sauce. And I thought, wow, this would be a great day to make pepper sauce. So I'm going to share this great recipe with you. It's very short and simple. You don't need peppers from your balcony garden. You can get these from a local grocery store. You can get them from a fresh market. Either way, it's the same pepper. But I just want to show you the process to let you know how easy it is. So we're going to get started with our pepper sauce. Okay guys, we're all ready to get started with our hot pepper sauce. The first thing we want to do is wash our hands. We always want to start, in the kitchen when our hands are washed. The last thing we want is for someone to get sick. And I'm kind of a stickler. I love just knowing that someone has washed their hands makes me feel so much better when I'm eating. I kind of call myself like a crazy maniac person for germs. So we get our hands all washed here. We get our ingredients here. So what you're going to need to get started are going to be number one, your hot chilies. These are Fresno chili. It's an heirloom hot pepper. It's a nice, robust of very hot spices all together. It's like almost unbearable to eat unless you are really a hot pepper connoisseur. I would not advise you eat it alone. You're going to need some salt. You're going to need some vinegar. In this case, I'm using apple cider vinegar. You are free to use regular distilled vinegar. This just has a better flavor for me. It's totally your choice. You're going to need some containers to put your beautiful pepper sauce in. These are containers that I got from the Dollar Tree. And I just recently saw a video on YouTube, and I've all of a sudden fallen in love with the Dollar Tree. So I made a trip to the Dollar Tree yesterday because I had picked my peppers yesterday, and I saw these great containers that they advertised, and they're only $1. So I bought these. I thought these are so cool, and they look pretty on the table. So those are for $1, and you're going to need a pot, some gloves. This is the main thing you're going to want to have. Gloves are very important because these get really hot. You do not want to touch your eyes or your baby's eyes or your children. You're going to want to continually to wash your hands. In this case, I suggest you also have a lemon. Maybe we'll put a lemon in the process. And that's going to be for washing our hands for later so that we don't forget. We can put some lemon juice on our hands. And we're going to want to do the first step. And that is, like I said, that's going to be washing our hands. And then we're going to want to put our gloves on before we get started. Now, the peppers, as far as the vinegar goes, I took the vinegar. Let's hold off on the gloves for a second, because what we're going to do here is I filled my bottle almost full. I left a little room because when the peppers are put in, they're going to make the sauce rise a little. The juice rise a little. So I left it a little bit, before the top so that nothing gets clogged around the top of it. Being, just a few peppers, it's going to not make a difference, as far as pushing it up, because it's not going to be crowded. So I took the vinegar from the jar, and I poured it into the beautiful container so that I would know exactly, approximately how much I would need. And I'm going to take that along with a teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to put a teaspoon of salt into my pot, into a little saucepan, or you can put it into a skillet, however you want to cook it. And I'm going to take the vinegar that I previously poured, and I'm going to pour that into my pot. And while I'm cutting my peppers, I'm going to put this on the stove at a low to medium heat. You want to bring it right before it boils. You want it, you don't want it to boil and start to evaporate away. So I'm going to put this on the stove. And now we have that on a low to medium heat while we prepare our peppers. So we're going to want to put on our gloves here. Make sure we get them on really nice and firm. And we're going to cut our peppers. Because these are so big we can't put them in the jars. And sometimes, you can put them in the jars depending on the size of your jars. When I was a little girl, my grandmother, she made pepper sauce. And that pepper sauce she put in canning mason jars, which have a bigger mouth. So you could actually open the jar and pour out or spoon out what you wanted. But these are different. These are smaller. They're cuter on the table, even though the mason jars are cute also. But you're going to want to cut your peppers like that. We're going to cut them like this, and we're going to actually put them into the jars. Now, to be even safer with this, I suggest you wear goggles, because if one of the peppercorns happens to go back in your eyes, that would not be a good situation. So you're going to want to cut all your peppers up. Once you cut them, you're going to want to take them and put them into the jars. One at a time, you're going to stuff them in the jars. So I'm going to finish cutting my peppers, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like after I've cut my peppers and put them in the jar. Inside of our jar, we're going to take our pepper sauce, our vinegar from the stove. Right now we've got it heated really nice to a good temperature that we like. And you see how the peppers are all cut in the jar. So what I did, this took about 10 minutes, depending on the number of peppers you have. It's gonna take longer or sooner. And I took all the little peppercorns that were left on the cutting board, and I took a spoon and I also put them inside to add extra hotness, because now they're all gonna be floating around in the bottle. So now you want to take this, the vinegar, and you're going to pour it over into, without burning yourself, nice and slow, over into your bottle. And it's okay if you waste a little, we can wipe that up later. We just want to get it right into the bottle there. It's easier to do this if you have a drainer, a spout. Something with a spout. It makes it a lot easier. But since I don't have a spout and I don't want my good peppers to go to waste, I had to do it today. So I'm gonna lose some here. And we get it almost filled up, and there we have it. Okay, so we're going to clean up the excess here. I'm making a little mess. It's easier to do this if you have a spout, like I said, a little funnel, something that has a funnel in it. So now you have a beautiful jar of pepper sauce. It is so pretty. Oh my God, this is gonna be so delicious. And you take your top like so, and you close it down, and you seal it down. This one has a little snap on it. You wanna snap it, but look how pretty that is. Oh my God, you let it sit for about 2 weeks. It is going to be so tasty. Now, in the old days, in my granny's days, they did canning, and canning was similar to this. My grandmother and her sisters got together, and it became an all-day event where they actually canned vegetables, they canned pears, they canned, different fruits, and they would give them to the family members when they visited home from other states. They would take home canned figs or canned pears or canned peaches and cha-cha and hot peppers and all kinds of tasty things that you could eat later. And the time, for those things to last in a jar was very long, because the process actually meant that you boiled the jars. They used mason jars. They boiled those jars, for things, things like botulism. You want to make sure you use clean containers. You don't want to use dirty containers. Anything you purchase from a store, you need to actually wash it really good in hot soapy water, as hot as you can stand it. You need to make sure it is properly clean. Just because it's new and sitting on a shelf, it does not mean it's clean. So we need to understand that if you purchase a pan or a bottle or anything from a store, just because it's new, it came from a factory, and in a factory, it has an opportunity for things to fall on it, for little creatures to crawl around on it. So we want to make sure we clean everything really thorough before we use it in our homes with our families and our loved ones and even ourselves. So there you have it. This is a great jar of pepper sauce, something good and tasty to come when you have your collard greens, your turnip greens, your peas, your beans. You're going to pour this on a little bit, and it's going to be so delicious. So there you have it. I hope you enjoy it, and you can repeat this with other jars if you want to make 5 or 6 at a time. If you want to make them and give them away as gifts, I think that's a great Christmas gift to give someone. My jar is not quite full, but when you want to do them from a store, you may want to get it where it's really full, and it looks so beautiful. And maybe at Christmas you could actually put a label on it with your name, or to the person from so and so, and it would be a nice Christmas gift. I would love this as a gift from someone. So enjoy your pepper sauce with your greens, your beans, your peas, and we will see you on the next Caribbean Soul Food Duo. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel to your friends. As you know, we are launching on October 5th, and we're going to have an array of recipes on our YouTube channel for you. And this is something I thought you would just enjoy because it was a quick thing I could do today. And I just thought it was so pretty to do because I love spicy stuff. It really, really, was one of the things that made me happy for today. So now I'm going to run errands and come up with another great recipe to share with you soon on YouTube. But don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you soon.